WWE fans, brace yourselves, because what just happened on SmackDown has shattered the very soul of the Bloodline. In a moment that felt ripped straight from the most tragic Greek dramas, Solo Sikoa betrayed Jacob Fatu, the man who fought for him, stood by him, and bled for the family name. And now, in an emotional decision that no one thought he'd ever make, Roman Reigns has officially cut all ties with Solo Sikoa. But how did it come to this? Tonight, we peel back the curtain on the most devastating fracture in modern WWE history. What began as a legacy of dominance, power, and family pride has crumbled into ashes, and it all leads back to one brutal, gut-wrenching moment: Solo turning on Jacob Fatu in front of the world. Let's rewind. Just weeks ago, the Bloodline looked like it was rising stronger than ever. With Roman Reigns temporarily absent from TV, Solo Sikoa took it upon himself to lead. Many saw this as a temporary measure, a placeholder until the tribal chief returned. But behind the scenes? There was unrest. There were whispers. Solo wasn't just filling Roman's shoes. He was reshaping the legacy, and some said, plotting his own path as the chief entered. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. The enforcer no one wanted to cross. He returned to WWE not as a follower, but as a warrior with a mission. He aligned himself with Solo, not because he was ordered to, but because he believed in something bigger. A united front. A real brotherhood. A vision of the Bloodline that wasn't built on fear, but fire, and for a moment, it looked real. It looked unbreakable until it wasn't, because on that fateful night on SmackDown, when Jacob Fatu stood tall in the ring, ready to declare his loyalty, Solo Sikoa blindsided him with a Samoan spike that echoed across the arena like a shotgun blast through the heart of the Bloodline. There was no warning. No hesitation. No mercy, the crowd gasped. Commentators fell silent. Jacob Fatu's body lay crumpled, stunned not just by the physical pain, but by the betrayal from the man he called blood. And somewhere, miles away, Roman Reigns was watching. Reports began flooding backstage immediately after the segment aired. Sources close to the locker room said Roman was furious beyond words. He hadn't sanctioned this. He hadn't ordered this betrayal. This wasn't tribal discipline, this was treason. Phones buzzed. Screenshots leaked. And by the end of the night, an unconfirmed, but undeniable, piece of news emerged from WWE insiders: Roman Reigns has severed all personal communication with Solo Sikoa. No texts. No calls. No response. Silence from the tribal chief. In the Samoan tradition, silence is louder than 1,000 shouts. It is not just disapproval, it is exile. And for Solo Sikoa, that silence was Roman's final judgment. But why now? Why did this betrayal break Roman in ways others didn't? Remember, Roman Reigns has led the Bloodline through war. Through betrayals, ambushes, heartbreaks. He forgave Jimmy Uso. He tamed Jey Uso. He even brought Paul Heyman back into his inner circle after years of manipulation. But Solo was different. He was supposed to be the last bastion. The iron hand of the tribe. The one Roman trusted with the family name in his absence, and instead, Solo took that trust and weaponized it. Not against an outsider, but against Jacob Fatu, the very man Roman had reportedly been grooming as the next protector of the Bloodline legacy. Backstage reactions were immediate and chaotic. Some insiders said Jacob's collapse was unscripted, that the attack went off script and left WWE officials scrambling to recalibrate creative plans. Others claimed this was Solo's way of making a statement, not just in storyline, but in the real hierarchy of the locker room. Fans were in shock. On social media, hashtags like #SoloBetrayal, #Jacob Fatu, and most hauntingly, #WhereIsRoman began trending worldwide. The WWE universe didn't just feel betrayed. They felt lied to. The Bloodline was supposed to be about honor, about family, about trust. And now? It looked like every bond Roman had forged was crumbling, starting from within. But here's where things turn even darker, because Roman Reigns, in the wake of that betrayal, ordered all references to Solo Sikoa removed from internal Bloodline branding. Sources close to WWE's design and marketing team reported that new merchandise featuring Solo had been pulled. Meeting notes from creative reportedly referred to Solo as a rogue element, while Roman's camp began pushing a new narrative: he is no longer one of us. Let that sink in. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief himself, disowned his own cousin. It's a move that hasn't been seen since Roman first banished Jimmy Uso after his initial betrayal in 2021. But this hits different. Jacob Fatu wasn't just a teammate. He was family. He was Roman's chosen one. And when Solo attacked him, he wasn't just attacking a brother. He was attacking Roman's entire legacy. Sources say Roman is now surrounding himself with only two people, Paul Heyman and an unnamed returning figure said to be from his earliest Shield days. And what about Solo? He showed up on the next SmackDown with no remorse. No explanation. No justification. Just a stare so cold it froze the blood of every person watching. He didn't say a word. But the silence was louder than anything he could have spoken. And Roman's silence? That was louder still, because now, the war lines are drawn. On one side, Solo Sikoa, alone, defiant, and drunk on power. On the other, Roman Reigns, betrayed, humiliated, and burning with vengeance. And in the middle of it all, Jacob Fatu, broken, silenced, and symbolic of everything the Bloodline once stood for, and what it's become. The next chapter of WWE is no longer about gold. It's not even about dominance. It's about retribution. And Roman Reigns, after cutting ties with Solo Sikoa, isn't just reclaiming his throne. He's preparing for war. In the quiet moments after SmackDown went off the air, there was a heaviness backstage that no amount of lighting or production cues could mask. WWE personnel moved with hushed urgency, not because of the cameras, but because of what had just taken place between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And looming over it all like a thundercloud? The absence of Roman Reigns. Word began spreading quickly, not through press releases or public statements, but through whispers, locker room glances, and encrypted messages from Roman's inner circle. He had watched everything. From a private location, far from the cameras and the fans. Alone. No entourage. No tribal celebration. Just silence, and in that silence, something inside Roman snapped. This wasn't just a betrayal of Jacob Fatu. This was a betrayal of him. Of everything he had sacrificed to turn the Bloodline into a dynasty. And as the headlines began circulating online, Solo goes rogue, Bloodline implodes, Jacob Fatu left for dead, one voice remained missing from all commentary: Roman Reigns. Not a tweet. Not an interview. Not a single sign of his presence. But the silence was intentional. Calculated. Roman didn't need to speak. He wanted the world to feel his disappointment like a shadow crawling across the WWE landscape behind closed doors. However, his rage was volcanic. According to WWE insiders, Roman Reigns has now demanded a full Bloodline audit, a sweeping investigation into who knew what and when. Allegedly, Paul Heyman was summoned into a private Zoom call shortly after the SmackDown episode aired. The call, sources say, lasted no more than 2 minutes. And by the time it ended, Heyman was said to be visibly shaken. Even more damning? Reports suggest that Roman has stripped Solo Sikoa of all Bloodline ceremonial rights, including the wearing of the Ula Fala, the tribal necklace passed down to signify leadership. That sacred symbol, last seen around Solo's neck, has been called back, reclaimed by Roman himself. This isn't just about betrayal. It's about punishment, and Roman doesn't punish with words. He punishes with silence. With exile. With consequences that echo for generations. Meanwhile, the WWE universe has split down the middle. On one side, fans who believe Solo Sikoa was always destined to break out on his own. They call him a necessary rebel, a man fed up with being in Roman's shadow. On the other side, those who see Solo as a traitor, an ungrateful product of Roman's sacrifices, who used his cousin's absence as a chance to seize power through destruction. But the truth, Solo didn't just betray Jacob. He violated the one rule Roman Reigns had always demanded from his family: loyalty above all. WWE cameras may not have caught Roman's reaction in real time, but leaked footage from the production truck reportedly shows Roman punching a monitor off a table the moment Jacob Fatu hit the canvas. That footage has not been aired. Perhaps it never will. But if true, it paints a picture of a man undone, not by his enemies, but by his own blood. And as for Jacob Fatu, he hasn't been seen or heard from since the attack, not in backstage segments. Not on Instagram. Not even a text to friends or fellow wrestlers. Some say he's been recovering in a private medical facility. Others claim Roman himself ordered him into silence, either to protect his pride or to prepare him for something massive. One WWE official, speaking on condition of anonymity, said it best: Roman loved Jacob like a brother. He wanted him to be the sword and shield of the bloodline. What Solo did didn't just hurt Jacob. It broke Roman's heart. And now that heart? It's turning cold because Roman Reigns has always been strategic. He's not the kind of leader who reacts with raw emotion alone. He waits. He watches. And when he strikes, it's final, which brings us to the question everyone is asking: what comes next? Is Roman planning a return, not for a match, but for a reckoning? Because make no mistake, this isn't about gold anymore. It's about pride. Legacy. Blood, the same legacy that Roman spent years crafting, turning a once scattered family into the most dominant faction in WWE history, is now crumbling in his absence. And Solo Sikoa, once the enforcer, is now the enemy. According to new backstage reports, Roman has authorized a counter-strategy. He's not returning alone. The word being whispered among creative staff is that Roman has contacted someone from his past. A Shield member. Or perhaps someone even closer. A secret weapon. Could it be Dean Ambrose? Could it be JUSO? No one knows for sure, but what we do know is this: Roman is building something. Quietly. Patiently. And when he returns, it won't be for show. It'll be for vengeance. Fans attending upcoming WWE tapings have been asked to sign stricter NDAs than usual, prompting speculation that a massive return angle is being filmed off-air. Insiders say the arena lights will go black mid-show. A single tribal chant will echo through the PA system. And when the lights return, Roman Reigns will be standing in the ring, flanked by someone no one expects. A message to Solo. A warning to everyone else, and perhaps a resurrection of the true bloodline. The family civil war has begun. Roman has made his move. He's cut ties with Solo Sikoa. Publicly. Privately. Spiritually, and now, in the ashes of what once was, he's preparing to rebuild, only this time, with warriors who won't betray him. This is no longer the bloodline you knew, this is the reckoning. The silence from Jacob Fatu was deafening. In an industry where every breath, every bump, and every betrayal is amplified under bright lights and echoing microphones, Jacob Fatu's total disappearance after that brutal attack from Solo Sikoa sent a chill across the WWE universe. No interviews. No cryptic Instagram stories. No backstage leaks. It was as if the Samoan werewolf had been swallowed whole by the betrayal, but insiders knew better. Jacob wasn't just injured, he was devastated. Sources within WWE's inner circle revealed that Jacob Fatu had been taken off the road indefinitely, not due to medical clearance, but by direct order from Roman Reigns himself. The tribal chief, enraged by Solo's rogue assault, reportedly reached out to Jacob within hours of the incident, not as a leader, but as family. The call, described by one backstage official as deeply emotional, ended with a simple but chilling message from Roman: stay down, until I say rise. What does that mean? It means Jacob Fatu's return won't be quiet. It won't be staged. It won't be for vengeance alone. It'll be for retribution, authorized by Roman himself. But here's the part no one expected: Roman Reigns isn't planning on rebuilding the bloodline with the same old faces. No. This time, it's different. He's not looking for followers. He's looking for loyalists. And that's why, behind closed doors, an entirely new faction is being formed, handpicked by the tribal chief. A dangerous, silent cabal of enforcers, bruisers, and loyal warriors, men who've bled in the shadows, who owe nothing to Solo Sikoa, and everything to Roman Reigns. Their names, still under wraps, but one thing is certain: this is not a reunion, this is a reconstruction. Backstage leaks suggest that Roman has been holding private training sessions off-site, far from the performance center, in a secluded training compound in Florida. Only a select few have been invited. Among them? NXT prospects with lineage to the Inoue family. Rumors point to Zilla Fatu, Tonga Loa, and even Manu, the long-forgotten descendant of the original Samoan legacy. This isn't nostalgia. It's strategy. Roman isn't just assembling muscle. He's gathering witnesses to betrayal. Each of these men has seen what happens when trust is broken. When one brother turns on another. And now? They've been called home. Meanwhile, Solo Sikoa has doubled down. Rather than offer apologies or explanations, Solo has surrounded himself with a group of rebels. Not Bloodline. Not Roman soldiers. Just chaos incarnate. A faction of destroyers who care nothing for heritage, only power. They've already appeared on dark matches. Quiet appearances. No music. No fanfare. Just violence. At last week's SmackDown taping, Solo led a post-show ambush on Ridge Holland and Butch. Not because of any feud, but to send a message: I don't take orders from Reigns. And I don't need the Bloodline. It's not a faction. It's an insurgency, and that's what Roman Reigns is about to crush. Because for all of Solo's brute strength, for all his rage and defiance, he forgot one thing: the Bloodline isn't about who throws the hardest punch. It's about legacy. Loyalty. Respect. And when Roman Reigns steps back into the arena, flanked by the warriors he trusts, Solo Sikoa will feel the true meaning of exile. Jacob Fatu, silenced by pain, will return as a harbinger of fury. Roman Reigns, betrayed by his own blood, will return as a conqueror, and Solo Sikoa, once the protector of the family, will find himself standing alone. No tribe, no honor, just regret. The WWE Universe is waiting, the locker room is on edge, and the Bloodline, it's being reforged in fire. But the question remains: when will Roman strike? Insiders say the date has already been chosen. It's not just any night. It's not just any city. It's the next Premium Live event, a show already being teased with cryptic visuals of burning tribal symbols and the haunting phrase, "What is broken, must be punished." And in the final seconds of that promo, hidden behind flashing lights and distorted chants, one word appeared: warfare. The Bloodline civil war is coming. Solo has made his move. Jacob has been silenced. And Roman Reigns is about to answer, with fury. The night arrives like thunder. The arena is packed to the rafters. The air is electric. WWE's latest Premium Live event is already trending worldwide, and yet, no one in the building knows what's truly coming. The lights dim, the chants rise, and then, boom! A single tribal drum echoes through the PA system. The crowd goes quiet. Confused. Hopeful. Suspicious, and then it happens. On the Titantron, a burning Ula Fala necklace, consumed by flames, piece by piece. The symbol of leadership. Of respect. Of the Bloodline, and in its place, a chilling message: the tribal chief returns. Not to reclaim, but to redefine. The crowd erupts into chaos. A mix of gasps, cheers, and disbelief. The very idea of Roman Reigns returning, after weeks of silence, betrayal, and destruction, feels seismic. But it's not just a return. It's a declaration of war. The screen cuts to black. A voice speaks, not live, not in the ring, but pre-recorded, cold, calculated, and unmistakably Roman. Solo Sikoa, you were family. Until you chose pride over blood. Until you struck down a brother I raised to be my sword. You wanted to lead? Then lead yourself, into exile. And then, the lights return. Roman Reigns walks through the curtain, but he's not alone. To his left, Jacob Fatu, bandaged, bruised, but walking with fire in his eyes. To his right, a massive silhouette emerges, Zilla Fatu. A shocking reveal. A new force. A cousin bound by blood, silent and menacing. The three men stand atop the ramp, unified, focused, unforgiving. The crowd loses it. Commentary doesn't even try to contain the emotion. Michael Cole, this is not the same Roman Reigns. This is a Roman Reigns reborn. A Roman Reigns that was betrayed. That was humiliated. That was forced to rebuild what Solo Sikoa destroyed. Backstage, cameras cut to Solo Sikoa's locker room. He's watching. Stone-faced. But the twitch in his jaw betrays the storm inside him. He wasn't expecting this. He thought Roman would come alone. Weak. Emotional. Vengeful. Instead, Roman arrived with structure. With power. with vengeance forged in strategy. And it's about to explode because Roman doesn't call people family lightly. If Jacob Fatu has returned under Roman's orders, if Zilla Fatu has been brought into the fold, this is more than a comeback, this is a cleansing. A purification of the bloodline. And the first target? Solo Sikoa. That very night, without warning, Roman Reigns takes a mic mid-show, not as part of a scheduled segment, but unscripted, demanding time. He steps into the ring. The crowd falls into a hush, his voice, low and lethal. This family used to mean something. It used to be about honor. About sacrifice. You bled with me, Solo. But then you tried to replace me. Tried to crown yourself king. That's not how this works. You don't inherit power by betrayal. You earn it through loyalty. Through respect. And now? You earn your punishment. Suddenly, Jacob Fatu lunges forward, yanks the mic from Roman, and roars into it. You didn't just spike me, Solo. You shamed the name our grandfather built. The arena quakes. This isn't about kayfabe anymore. This is legacy being dragged through the dirt, and now being reclaimed. Later in the night, as Solo Sikoa makes his entrance for a scheduled match, Roman's new trio ambush him from the shadows. No music. No lights. No commentary, just chaos. They hit the ring like a tsunami. Fists fly. Zilla Fatu levels one of Solo's new allies with a brutal Samoan drop. Jacob nearly tears Solo's neck apart with a leaping clothesline, and Roman, he doesn't even strike. He just stands in the center of the ring, watching. Solo crawls to his feet, blood on his lip, staring up at the man he betrayed. Roman leans down. Gets in close. And whispers, "This is mercy. Next time, you don't get back up." Then he turns his back on Solo and leaves the ring. Power move. Message sent. The Civil War has officially begun. Backstage, WWE cameras capture Solo flipping over a table, roaring in frustration. His own faction is splintering. Members are questioning his leadership. The whispers grow. Solo is cracking. And Roman is building. Week by week, his new bloodline grows stronger. Appearances by Zilla Fatu electrify crowds. Jacob Fatu re-establishes himself as a feared monster. And Roman? He speaks less, but says more with every single calculated move. Meanwhile, rumors swirl that a mystery fourth member may be joining Roman's new bloodline. Someone unseen. Someone connected to the Shield. The speculation goes nuclear. Some say it's Seth Rollins flipping sides, others whisper Dean Ambrose, but Roman doesn't confirm or deny because suspense is his weapon now. This war isn't just about matches. It's psychological. Tactical. Tribal. And Solo Sikoa, he's out of time. The man who betrayed Jacob Fatu thought he could rise as a king, but what he's about to learn is this: you don't steal the crown from the tribal chief, you get crushed beneath it. Days pass. SmackDown after SmackDown, the WWE Universe watches the battlefield shift, and Solo Sikoa, he's not taking this quietly. Backstage footage begins leaking, unofficial, grainy, handheld. It shows Solo flipping tables, screaming at producers, shoving cameras out of his face. In one clip, he reportedly corners Paul Heyman near the production truck, demanding answers. You knew. You knew he was coming back. You fed him names, where I was, what I said. You sold me out, old man. Heyman doesn't respond. He simply lowers his eyes. And in that silence, everything is confirmed. Solo isn't just losing control of the bloodline, he's losing his grip on everything, and that's exactly how Roman Reigns wants it, because in Roman's world, chaos is a tool. The louder Solo screams, the more cracks begin to show in his rogue faction. Members once loyal to Solo start backing away. Whispers travel fast. Nobody wants to be on the wrong side when the tribal chief is making moves, and make no mistake, he's making moves. Reports emerge that Roman Reigns has locked in a one-on-one match with Solo Sikoa, not on regular television, but at WWE Crown Jewel. The stakes? Bloodline supremacy. But that's not all. The match isn't just about victory. It's about leadership. Roman lays it out in a now iconic backstage promo filmed in shadows, his face only partially lit, voice measured and merciless. "We settle this, with our fists. No lies. No tricks. No brothers left standing. At Crown Jewel, Solo, you answer for your betrayal, not just to me, but to the name. To the tribe. To the ancestors. You don't get to carry our blood if you spill it." The promo goes viral, and for the first time, Solo Sikoa looks like a man walking into a storm with no umbrella. But he's not done yet. In a desperate attempt to regain the spotlight, Solo attacks Jacob Fatu backstage. A calculated ambush. No cameras, only a shaky phone recording from a terrified crew member. Jacob is left bloodied and unconscious. Solo stands over him, chest heaving, knuckles split. And he snarls, "One by one. I'll end them all. Until it's just me and him." The footage spreads like wildfire. Roman's reaction? Cold. Calm. He posts a single photo on social media, a traditional Samoan war club resting on a ceremonial robe. No caption. Just symbolism. The meaning is clear: war is coming, and now the tension builds to a fever pitch. In the final SmackDown before Crown Jewel, Roman makes a live appearance. No music. No pyro. Just the tribal chief walking down the ramp with Jacob Fatu limping behind him and Zilla Fatu watching from the shadows. Roman stands in the ring and finally addresses the WWE Universe. "They said the Bloodline was dead. That betrayal would destroy us. But let me make this clear. The Bloodline doesn't die. It evolves. It cuts off what's rotten. And it rebuilds. Stronger. Smarter. Colder. Solo, you were never the heir. You were just the warning." The crowd erupts, and then the lights go out. Solo's music hits. But it's not the full entrance. It's distorted. Glitch. He walks out, alone, hair tied back, fists taped, face unreadable. He gets into the ring. And for the first time in months, stands face to face with Roman Reigns. The audience is frozen. Not a word is spoken, but in their eyes, everything is said. Solo's stare burns with rage. Roman's gaze is full of pity. Not fear. Not fury. Just sorrow, for a family member who lost his way. The screen fades to black and the final words appear. Crown Jewel. 2 kings. 1 throne. Blood will decide. The WWE Universe holds its breath. At Crown Jewel, the arena is unlike anything fans have ever seen. Tribal drums play live. Traditional Samoan dancers line the ramp. The lights are blood red. Roman enters, not in his usual vest, but shirtless, war paint streaked across his face and chest, the ula fala glowing beneath his throat. Solo follows. No pageantry. Just purpose. The bell rings, and what follows isn't a wrestling match. It's a ceremonial execution. Solo comes out swinging, wild, furious, emotional. He lands punches. Brutal ones. He even gets